July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers say the missile, found sometime last week, has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio, for further inspection. Headline Edition will bring you special reports and interviews in a moment.
How you doing? This is the guy from Pittsburgh. Well, before I talk about what I was going to talk about tonight, which is weird news, I got to post my admin inbox about the people on Bell Gab. And looking on here, which books kicked your butt? And Jasmunda quotes from the general, wasn't no problem in the interest of full disclosure. I read the abridged version, but still it was almost 1,000 pages of exquisitely crafted 18th century run-on sentences. Jasmunda, it wasn't written by Falky, was it? And then Wildcard writes, funny you should mention me. Wants to know why we aren't joining this forum. Anticipating, oh, you're not that interesting. He asks why I have hundreds of views and the only people here are me and my admin. I assume Casio. Bottom line, AB owes him a free lunch. I really hope that's an inside joke. It probably is. If it's not, we need to pool our funds so we can buy him a McDonald's gift card. Hashtag feed Falky. Well, I got news for you, Wildcard and Jasmunda. And MV, they got to kick me off your Bell Gab forum. If you look on Slender Man, there's my video. If you look on Bergdahl now, there's my video. If you look at other topics that I'm talking about, my videos are there. I'm all over the net. No one's paying attention to Bell Gab anymore. I don't care if you guys join my forum. I'm going to keep posting on the paranormal, on UFOs, on Bigfoot, Chupacabra, whatever I can find. And I got guests that are sitting there lurking. Every time me and my admin post a story, there's 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 guests. They're not joining because probably they're afraid if they're on MB's forum, Bell Gab, he'll kick them off. And it's amazing to me. I got kicked off in like February. This is June. And I got kicked off because all the discussion was about Falky. And guess what? It's June. They're still talking about me. And they're still talking crap about me. And I got news for you, Mr. Wildcard. In the last year, I've eaten exactly 4 chicken sandwiches at McDonald's with mayonnaise, no lettuce. That's $1 chicken sandwich, $1.29, whatever the hell you are. And that's only because we were running around all day doing stuff, taking care of my mother's financial affairs after her death, and we hadn't eaten anything all day. I do occasionally with my girlfriend because she likes me, 1 vanilla cone, and we get the iced tea there. But I can't eat anything McDonald's because it interferes with my stomach. I start running for the border like the Taco Bell thing, commercial used to say. It's too greasy. Now, every once in a while, about once a month, I have a Carl's Jr. Superstar. But that's the only stuff I eat fast food anymore. I don't eat it. I've knocked off all candy. I don't eat candy. I don't eat ice cream. I do eat Dreyer's pineapple fruit bars, and I bought a Jack-o'-lantern juicer. I haven't set it up yet. And I've gone from a size 62 to a size 58 in the last 3 months, even though we've been eating out a lot because we've been too busy. You know, this weekend, I got to read a first book for just fun. I got to read Richard Marchenko's, one of his books, Rogue Warrior, where he goes to Cuba. Lied there on my couch the whole day and just read a book and then took a nap. I still found time to post in my forum. And today I posted 2 videos. So you guys have no idea what my culinary, however the hell you pronounce that word, habits are. I don't eat fast food anymore. I don't eat candy bars. I went out and got some Chinese because it was too damn hot to cook in here. I drank a peach Snapple, 3 glasses of water, and that's one of the keys to losing weight. I haven't had time to drink water. I've been too damn tired. It's 100 degrees in here. Set up the air conditioner. It's so hot the duct tape's melting it off the window. So I got to redo it. It's missing one part. So until I get that part, I turned it sideways. It's supposed to. I got to jury rig something to keep the thing from coming out of the window. And the hose is coming out of the window because the ring that's supposed to hold the hose in was missing when I bought it. So I'll call them tomorrow. Still got insurance issues to deal with my mother. $10,000 insurance policy they can't find. A $5,000 policy for my sister turned into $2,300. And in case you're wondering here, I'm drinking Golden Peach from Walmart. Claims it's 0 calorie. Let's see here. 0 calorie, no sodium, no sugar, no protein, water, citric acid, natural flavor, aspartame, which is equal, I guess, or Splenda or something. And that stuff, according to all these people on Coast to Coast, is supposed to kill us and make you fatter. I don't know. I'm not going to try stevia. That tastes nasty, and I don't use sugar anymore either. So I got lots of fruit in the icebox, grapefruit, oranges. And after the night, my kitchen sink's leaking. When I get that fixed, I can put away the dishes. I got laundry to put away. It's in the background on the right. Haven't had time to do that. Haven't had time to put the apple box up top. All I've been doing is running for the last month since March. And it's too damn hot to walk. I walked in 100-degree heat to the post office, got this new shirt. What happens at Area 51 stays at Area 51. So there's my new shirt. And going to have another shirt as soon as I have it made up. And I found a local guy here. Don't have the wallet with me. And he's going to make up a logo for me and an animated logo. So I can put it on my YouTube page, my forum, my blogger page, my Facebook page. And he's also going to design a shirt with the guy from Pittsburgh. And the Slender Man attempted killing of one young girl. She's out of the hospital now. They're being charged. 2 12-year-olds being charged as adults for murder, attempted murder. And another story: an Ohio housewife was attacked by her daughter because she was addicted to the Slender Man. But I don't see anybody talking about that on Bell Gab, to the best of my knowledge. And the main reason I talked about Aldous Burbank owing me a free lunch, he didn't owe me a damn thing. But when I was on Bell Gab, he made the offer to take me out to lunch. And I wasn't interested so much in the lunch. I found the man's post to be fascinating. I wanted to talk to him, get to know him, maybe do a video of him, talk about his travels, his experiences, what he thinks about life and the country. That's why I wanted to meet him. I could afford to buy my own lunch. And I even offered to buy him lunch, which he declined. So it's not a running gag, but I feel if you made an offer to buy a guy lunch, you keep your word. If I'd made Aldous Burbank an offer to buy lunch, he would have got a lunch out of me. And there would have been no damn lunch at McDonald's or Carl's Jr. with a decent restaurant. We got a few here in this city, downtown, somewhere because he was going to meet me, eat lunch, and then get back on Amtrak to go points east or west or wherever the hell he was going. We can't go west, but east, north, south. Well, he never called me, never showed up. He had my phone number. And another thing, a guy that used to be a supporter of mine, Area 51 drone, well, he published a Photoshop picture of my head on something. I don't know what the hell it is. And MV, who's another, should be synonymous with troll, he posts on his forum, looks like a fat retard to me. Well, MV, You look like a jerk. You kick me off the forum and then you talk crap about behind my back. And you don't think my spies don't not just my admin, but other people don't let me know about it? I don't have to look at your forum. There's a section in there, the forum is winding down. Well, it probably is, because you got a year and 3 months of no Art Bell. So what do you got to talk about? Nori, John B. Wells, interminable list of guest hosts on Saturday and maybe Sunday, and books you've read. So much for Bell Gab and your exciting forum. And the wild card season doesn't find me interesting, fine. I got another subscriber this week. It's 71. It's not a lot. Got over 21,000 views. Someone's watching my stuff, and people are watching my forum. And that's all I care about. And as I go out, November, October, I'll be going to the local UFO conference. I will be trying to get interviews with people, but even if I don't, I'll put a video of the experiences there. And that'll go on YouTube. MV with his failed rock band in Cape Girardeau, where he went and got the flu. Probably didn't get a flu shot because he listened to Nori, who doesn't believe in flu shots. Oh, I got a flu shot. I got the flu anyway because the doctor gave me a flu shot when I already had the flu. But I hadn't got my flu shot. So now I get my flu shots no matter what. So that's enough of that. Let's play the music. And let's see, where is it here? There we go. And it's time once again for Attack of the Weird News. Okay, got some old ones here. 1999, from the Messenger, Madisonville, Kentucky. In May, a man drove 2 trucks on a rural road. He'd drive a truck 100 yards, stop, walk back to a second truck. Drive it 100 yards beyond the first truck. Stop, walk back to the first truck. Drive it 100 yards beyond the second truck, and so on. Into the evening. He did it, police, because his brother was passed out drunk in one of the trucks. He was trying to drive both trucks home, more or less at the same time. A blood test showed him also to be impaired, and I presume they took him away. That was a funny story. There's some old ones I've found that aren't current, but they're still funny. Okay. Let's see. This one gets me because you hear about injury stories and lawsuits. Well, this one had it all. A pretrial hearing was scheduled in Lamar, Missouri, on Joyce Lair's lawsuit against the county for injuries in 1993 fall. This is 1996. In the icy, unplowed parking lot of the local high school. The Carthage Press reported Lair claimed damage to nearly everything in her body. According to her petition, all the bones, organs, muscles, tendons, tissues, nerves, veins, arteries, ligaments, discs, cartilages, and the joints of her body were fractured, broken, ruptured, punctured, compressed, dislocated, separated, bruised, confused, narrowed, abrased, lacerated, burned out, cut, torn. How do you burn in an ice fall? I don't get that one. Wrenched, swollen, strained, sprayed, inflamed, and infected. Infected from ice? So that's from the Carthage Press in January 1996. To me, that's hilarious. I don't get it. Okay, here's one. Again, this is 92, 30-year-old man identified news reports from the Associated Press via Newsday. He had been hospitalized in Princeton, West Virginia, in October with gunshot wounds. He'd been drinking beer and cleaning his 3 guns. Had shot himself with each one. The first shot didn't hurt. The second stung a little. The third really hurt, prompting him to call for help. Let's see. What's this one? 94, Toronto. This is from the Edmonton Journal via the Canadian Press. Saeed Rayati, 23, and his 20-year-old wife brawled over whether Katie Seagal on Married with Children was prettier than Christina Applegate. First, the wife slashed him in the groin with a wine bottle as he scuffled. She dressed his wounds. The couple sat down again to watch another episode. Moments later, the brawl erupted again, and Rayati, who suffered a broken arm and shoulder, stabbed his wife in the chest, back, and legs before they begged neighbors to call an ambulance. One wonders if they're still married with or without children. This one gets me to 1988 from the AP. Old Hal Warden, the Tennessee 16-year-old who's married at 15, granted divorce from his wife 13. Hal had previously been married at the age of 12 to a 14-year-old and fathered children with both. The first wife divorced Hal because he told the judge he was acting like a 10-year-old. So, that's a weird story. I guess back there you could marry real young. Let's see. I don't get this one. I thought there was all kinds of weird peeper crimes and all this. This is sort of when Gary Arthur Meadows, this is 91, arrested in March in Milwaukee. He had 30 arrests over 23 years for causing mischief by telephoning women and trying to get them to physically pick up another person and carry her around a room. After repeatedly calling a woman, he told another woman had been impersonating some other woman had been in an accident, been seen carrying someone away, and Medro needed evidence that she could or could not do that. He had previously talked to cheerleaders, motel workers, and business executives into lifting and carrying. That's from the Milwaukee Sentinel. I never heard anybody having an obsession with lifting and carrying. And on science fiction channels, Ghost Hunters, sci-fi, Amy Bruni and Adam Berry are quitting the nearly 10-year-old series, and they're leaving. So E.T. Deadline reported they're leaving the unscripted paranormal reality show to pursue their own ghostly projects. And Ghost Hunters started in 2004, longest running reality show on Sci-Fi. High turnover of female cast members, with Bruni being around the longest, 111 episodes. Barry has been with the show since 2010, when he leaped to the series in the spin-off Ghost Hunters Academy. And Bruni and Barry is openly gay. Why do they always say that? They have to tell everyone in the world that someone's gay. Who cares? I've operated a team on the show as well as representing diversity on a cast dominated by white straight males. I guess gayness makes you better than straights. That must be the new thing for gays. They always have to tell everybody in the world they're gay. A psychic medium, Chip Coffey from Mayonnaise Council, Paranormal State, and Psychic Kids, tweeted huge news about these people quitting. So, so that's the big story in the paranormal TV news. I wish somebody would come up with a paranormal channel and put all these shows on one channel. Here's a weird story out of East Hampton, Mass. from the Associated Press, June 5th. Authorities say a customer in a Massachusetts restaurant became sick when an employee mistakenly sprinkled a chemical cleaner on food instead of grated cheese. Health agent Jackie Duda said the teenager fell immediately ill after eating this food at Riff's Joint and was driven to the ER. The teen was recovering and no one else is believed to have eaten the cleaner. He says that the powdered chemical removed from its original container and placed in another was not properly labeled. Duh! And the restaurant has rectified the issues that led to the poisoning. Co-owner Jeffrey Cahill said it was gross human error and it won't happen again. Well, I don't know about that one. But you'd think you'd tell the difference between cleaner and cheese. Here's a weird story, but I'm sure everybody's wanted to do that. Out of the AP, Elizabeth, New Jersey, a substitute teacher in northern New Jersey taped the mouths of several children who were talking during quiet time. And a police lieutenant says a 9-year-old girl made the complaint to her father. And the teacher got frustrated because the students were talking during quiet time. She used a wide tape. And they've taken the teacher off the substitute list while the case is pending. Well, I got a kid across the street. Little kid starts yelling and screaming at 8 o'clock in the morning, and some nights he didn't stop screaming till midnight. I can hear him all the way back here. So I can see where that would maybe drive you a little nuts after a while. Kids yelling or kids talking. Okay, let's see here. Principal in Santa Barbara High got pranked on his birthday where they hired a mariachi band to play for him. That's a little different. Oh yeah, this is a great story from back in 1991. New Jersey Administrative Judge Florence Powers had been on trial for shoplifting 2 watches. She called her psychiatrist to testify that she was under stress. Well, the doctor says she was unaware of her actions from one minute to the next, had 20 reasons: reach an auto accident, a traffic ticket, a new car purchase, overwork, husband's kidney stones, husband's asthma and breathing machine that occupies their bedroom, menopausal hot flashes, an ungodly vaginal itch, a bad rash, fear of breast and anal cancer, fear of illnesses, fear of dental surgery, son's need for an asthma breathing machine, mother's and aunt's illnesses, need to organize her parents' 50th wedding anniversary, need to cook Thanksgiving dinner for 20 relatives, purchase of 200 gifts for Christmas and Hanukkah, attempt to sell her house without a real estate agent, lawsuit against wallpaper cleaners, purchase of furniture that had to be returned, and a toilet in her house that was constantly running. She was convicted anyway. I guess every single malady and problem that woman had, and she didn't get off. That's amazing. So, that's a very weird story. Okay, let's see here. Oh, that's a business story, so we won't do that one. Let's see if I can find this story. Oh, yeah, this is a story George Norrie will love. Balloon sex blows for kinky clown couple out of the Huntington Post. A kinky couple who thought it'd be fun to clown around with their balloons had their sexual expectations blow up in their faces, according to the ER doctor who had to treat them. Dr. Leonard Herman said they came to the hospital in Norristown, Pennsylvania. The woman was having breathing problems. They were both dressed as clowns. The husband said, "My wife and I were in the heat of passion, and she said to me, 'Treat me like a balloon.'" I thought I heard it all. And it turns out the woman was a looner, a term for people who are sexually aroused by balloons. The man told Herman he tried to satisfy her desire by blowing air into her vagina. The doctor had never seen this guy's case before, but figured out the woman's breathing problems may due to an air embolism when her partner blew the air into her private parts. When an excessive amount of air is introduced in the vagina and gets absorbed, it causes trouble breathing. Air embolism is a potentially serious problem, said the doctor. Same as cutting off the circulation at the lung level. Air gets in the circulation, lodges in the lung where it blocks the normal flow of blood, causing a lot of serious problems. The amount of air blown in her vagina wasn't lethal, and her body eventually absorbed it. He had a warning for the couple: be careful about blowing up people. No, I don't know if he did it with his mouth or if he did it with the balloon. I'd like to know which one that was. But that's that one. Let's see what else is here. Robbery motivated by golf addiction. Now, I got a friend who used to work on our cars, and he owned a shop, and he quit doing that and got a job as a mechanic at a golf course. And he goes out every day at noon. He plays golf. He's addicted. Police in Washington, in Bremerton, say a man suspected of taking $9,200 worth of clubs and other merchandise from the pro shop at Gold Mountain Golf Course had no criminal history but appears to be addicted to golf. They spotted some of the stolen gear for sale online and arrested the subject Wednesday in Kirkland. It seems to me he has an addiction for money, not golf. The police chief said in a news release, robberies are often the result of addictions, but this is the first one that looks like a golf addiction. The Kitsap Sun reports other property was stolen from the pro shop was recovered from his apartment. I don't think it's a golf addiction at all. I think the guy just wanted money. He was trying to sell on eBay or Amazon or something. But he probably didn't. He didn't. I always tell you in those old movies, don't spend the money when you rob the bank. Lay low for a while. He didn't lay low. This is a sad story. Newlywed couple crashed cars into each other's fatal accident. They've been married about a year. Young Texas couple was killed when their two cars collided head-on. Speed and the layout of the road, including a hill crest, can be factors in the cause of the accident. Neither one of them were wearing seat belts. Nicholas Cruz and Christina Munoz were pronounced dead at the scene, but why they were driving head-on at each other, the story doesn't say. So that's a sad but weird story. Let's see here. Here we go. Stanford Betty, professor of religious studies at CSU Bakersfield. Is paranormal research pseudoscience? Somebody wrote on Google Plus, I'm appalled the pseudoscience of this is occurring at the University of Virginia, and also appalled Virginia Magazine stoops the lowest to mount the research as a cover story. This was one reader's reaction to Jim Tucker's reincarnation research at the University of Virginia. What we won't do is pretend the work of lunatic charlatans is the equivalent of this true scientific discourse. You ever notice that scientists never wanted to think outside the box? They all got to say, if it's not science, then it must be phony or fake or charlatans. Everything from UFOs to chupacabra to life after death to EBEs to out-of-body experiences, ghosts, spirits, pixies, nixies, dixies, pixie and Dixie. You name it. Well, one reader's assessment of an article written by University of Lethbridge sociologist studying Canadian attitudes on life after death. We know everything there is to know about life after death. It doesn't exist, another reader commented. Talk about closed minds. Each of these critics contemptuous of spiritual claims, whether they come from religion or from research, they label pseudoscience as their prediction rational. Are they being scientific? And this professor says, for a number of reasons, I don't think so. Great majority of them assume it is a proven fact that our brains produce consciousness, and when the brain dies, that's the end of us. This is an assumption, not a proven fact. Dr. Pim Van Lommel, one of the world's leading researchers into near-death experiences and the author of Consciousness Beyond Life, The Science of Near-Death, compares the brain to a TV set that tunes into specific electromagnetic waves, converts them into image and sound. If the TV is damaged, it won't work correctly, but the waves are still present. It's the same with consciousness, he says. Our consciousness is undamaged, but cannot express itself the normal way because the transmitter, the brain, is damaged. Put another way, if our computer gets a virus, the messages are all jumbled up. The problem is not in ourselves, but in the computer. And Van Lommel's conclusions are shared by most specialists who work closely with patients who have NDE. And NDErs who have experienced hallucinations at some point in their lives say their NDE visions felt real, so real in fact they claim convinced that debt is not the end. And even if they previously believed it was, their critics will insist, of course, they are mistaken. But who are the experts, the critics or the NDEers themselves? The critics do have a point. A second facet of some NDEs to travel to a distant place and the recent report back of what was seen at that place, and the report proves to be accurate in every particular. The critic would like the study of the NDE as pseudoscience and not be able to explain how this could be. A greater challenge to the critic is experience of some blind people who see for the first time in their lives what the rest of us see all the time. The University of Connecticut NDE researcher Kenneth Ring has showed slipping out of their body with its blind eyes makes sight possible. His book, Mind Sight, should be enough to make his critics do some serious soul-searching. Mysteries do remain, however. With what does the blind person see? One thing is certain, they don't see anything physical. And the best reason of all for rejecting NDE research as pseudoscience is clinical. Von Lamo explains, when the heart stops beating, blood flow stops within a second. The 6.5 seconds later, EEG brain activity starts to change due to the shortage of oxygen. And he goes on about that. And during the shutdown of the brain that NDEs occur, and according to the physicalist's worldview, there's no explaining how this could happen. Von Lamo and other researchers carry research with patients hooked up to machines does not strike me as pseudoscience. And the conclusion they reach that consciousness is not generated by the brain doesn't either. I think the real reason so many scientists are inclined to view NDE research and paranormal research in general as pseudoscience is the implications strike them as religious, and their attitudes toward religion are often deeply antagonistic. So that's the thing there. Well, I've had 2 NDEs as a child. I'm convinced something happened. So that's that one there. Let's see what else is here. Oh, here's a weird story. Not weirdness, but scary. Jose Vergara Acevedo was launched 31 floors in 15 seconds when an elevator malfunctioned in Providence, Chile on Saturday, according to Fox Channel 8. Video of the incident shows him desperately trying to push buttons to make the elevator stop. The man suffered head and leg injuries when the elevator eventually crashed into the roof. Modern elevators in the U.S. are equipped with brakes that are activated if the elevator starts moving too fast or too slow. It's unclear if the elevator in question had those brakes and they malfunctioned or none of them existed. The elevator was in a building that had been completed 8 weeks ago, says The Independent. It reached 50 miles an hour at its height. So that's a strange story. Make me scared to go in an elevator after reading that. Hey, what else is going on here? Oh, dumb criminal didn't want to go to work, so he fakes a burglary. Dwayne Yeager called authorities at 7 a.m. I need a sheriff in Brandon. He'd been gone for a short while, returned to see his door and windows open, TVs on the floor. They showed up to a ransacked house. Excuse me, I got a spill here. No signs of forced entry. Yeager was gone from 6:30 to 7:15, went through his front door, opened up the front bedroom window, lifted the blinds, and he stepped outside, waited for deputies. There was no car on the property, said the witness, before Yeager returned. He admitted to lie to keep him going to work. He was arrested and charged at one count of giving false information to police. Then released later in that day on $500 bail. What a doofus. All he had to do was fabricate a stomach ache from the previous day's bad meal or a migraine, said one of the cops, but you didn't hear it from me. What an idiot. There's one every day out there in the world of crime. Oh, hold on. I got to finish cleaning up this spill. I put too much peach water in the damn cup. Okay, let's see. That's that one. Oh, this is a great story, and I mentioned this in another video, but I still love it. Santa Rosa. Now, I really wonder, a real estate agent and the car rental guy, oh, you want a $250,000 car and a $12 million house? Sure, we think you got the money on your card. Well, Muhammad Alawa, 19, was arrested Wednesday after he was pulled over for driving the 2012 McLaren coupe he had rented for 13 grand and was reported stolen by its owner, and he also paid 27 grand to rent a $12 million estate in Glen Ellen. Prosecutors have charged him with 4 felonies: credit card fraud, receiving stolen property, identity theft, and vehicle theft, along with an enhancement charge of being in possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. Another 19-year-old man who was a passenger in McLaren also arrested and could face charges. But and then he tried to use a fake credit card to try to buy 14 iPhones and 2 laptops at an Apple store in Berkeley. I don't get this. Do people think I had to show my ID when I bought my MacBook and my iPad and my Amex card? But there are 19-year-olds running around with $100,000 credit cards and enough to rent a $250,000 car and a $12 million house, and they just, yeah, sure, we'll take it, anything. I don't get this one at all. It's very bizarre. Okay, Florida, another wacky story from Florida. Florida man attacked brother with marijuana plants. A Lakeland, Florida man is arrested after allegedly attacking his brother with marijuana plants. Polk County deputies were called to the home of Rodney and Jackie Brown after getting reports of a domestic disturbance. Jackie Brown, 33, told authorities he was arguing with Rodney, 31. In the course of the argument, Rodney uprooted several cannabis plants and hit Jackie in the face with them. Some of the plants were up to 3 feet in length. Deputies searched the house and found several marijuana plants as well as drug paraphernalia. He was taken into custody and charged with domestic battery, cultivation of marijuana, and possession of marijuana over 20 grams. He was taken to jail and readily released on bond. See, if they had legal pot, he would have been arrested for the pot. Here's a weird story. Burglar in crotchless panties threw sex toys at women and police. Stealing cat burglar is watching you. A 34-year-old male suspect wearing a wig, a dress, and crotchless panties was apprehended on the roof of an Australian sex toy store early Saturday morning, said the Australian Broadcasting Company. No evidence that it was Jasmunda. Cops said he crashed the ceiling of the store and threw toys at an employee before exiting the store the way he came. Out of the ceiling, throws the sex toys back in the ceiling. The storage female manager came running when she heard the alarm go off. She said the man threw an assortment of sex toys at her, then vaulted up to the ceiling from whence he came. Is this guy like Santa Claus on an off day? According to The Guardian. Police caught up with him a short time later. He faces breaking and entering and drug possession. His name hadn't been released. The store is located in Aspley, north of Brisbane. Where was Jasmunda during all this? This is apparently not the only recent case of an alleged burglar crashing through the ceiling of a sex toy shop in Australia. Last week, a 22-year-old man dashed out of a Cairns sex shop, allegedly clutching some stolen goods after falling through the store's ceiling. Witnesses called police, who arrested the suspect nearby. So, I don't know if Jasmine had anything to do with either one of those stories, but it is suspicious. Where was he during all of this? This story is wonderful. Out of Boyertown, PA. School aide told students that pet treats were cookies. Out of the AP. A Pennsylvania school district said an aide has been suspended after she tricked students into eating pet snacks by telling them they were cookies. 75 fourth graders at New Hanover Upper Frederick Elementary School, say that 3 times fast, received the pet treats during recess. No injuries were reported. Student Gabriel Moore tells WFMZ TV the aide first joked they were dog treats, then told student they were actually cookies. Gabriel scarfed down 3 of them. Boyerstown area school district officials notified parents Friday. They didn't disclose a type of pet treat, but said the ingredients would only be harmful to people with certain food allergies. Still, Gabriel's father, David Moore, said the part-time aide should be penalized pretty bad. The aide has been suspended pending an internal investigation. What about the kid who ate 3 dog treats? What are you going to do to her, David? Uh, she gets off scot-free, I guess. Good Lord. Okay, let's see. Here's one. Cops apparently told to not have sex on duty out of Spokane, Washington. A Washington state sheriff has sent a memo to deputies telling them that sex on duty will not be tolerated. Spokane Sheriff Ozzy Knazovich told Krim he had to spell out the policy because a deputy recently fired for the behavior won his job back last month in arbitration. The memo said that sex on duty is a breach of the public trust and a breach of the sheriff's office code of ethics, core values, and officer safety. So I guess you cops in Washington don't have sex on duty. Wait till you're off duty. Then you can have all the sex you want in the police car, I guess, or the sheriff's car. And in North Korea, or South Korea, I'm sorry, at the Lotte Shopping Center in Busan, Spider-Man won't be hanging around there anymore. According to culture and gaming blog Kotaku, critics began to notice that the superhero sculpture clinging upside down to the mall's facade had an erection. The statue was installed above a playground. Complaints spread online, and mall officials pressured Arctic En-suk Yu to alter the piece or take it down. He chose to take it down. The artist wrote on Facebook he was attempting to naturalize the superhero in a comical way, but understood why the work could be interpreted as lewd in a place like a shopping mall. He added he was disappointed, but he would reach the public with better work next time. One pop culture blog couldn't resist having fun. Is his spider tingling, or is he really happy to see you? Complex wrote. Oh, God. Spider-Man has plenty of parody before we have to say this. His sculpture leaves very much the imagination. I got off the Huffington Post and they do a picture of Spider-Man with an erect, like a spear. from the Anunnaki to the Phoenicians to the Jews, ancient Jews, Hebrews, by William J. Burns and Joel Martin. So I'll be reading those tonight, and I guess I will clip-clop onto the horse here. Let's see, where's the horse? That's a chirp. There we go. Yep, free art, Bell. I'll catch you next time, and you know what you can do with those Bell Gabber trolls, including MV and the evil possible burglar Jasmunda. Bye-bye. See you next time.